Another week and another blog. This week in RuneScape, we're covering more sailing and interface changes coming, as well as a poll being put up today about sailing to get your opinion about it, but we'll get more to that later. So, sailing improvement and fixes. As you adventure on the vast oceans of Gilnor continues, so does improving Old School's new skill. We've been keeping a close eye on your feedback on sailing, and we got some fixes and changes to smooth out the experience for you. In the Gwyneth Glide, if your boat is hit by a resonance crystal while you're off the helm, you can now get back on it shortly after breaking the crystal instead of being locked out. Rune and Dragon helms now have increased resonance crystal resistance, meaning fewer clicks from removing crystals at higher tier. In the Gwyneth Glide, the speed boost now fully resets when a trial starts, so the speed boost from removing the crystals from the crystal helm can no longer be carried over to your next trial. We fixed an issue in the Gwyneth Glide where leaving the crystal teleport area just before the teleport occurred could sometimes stop you from using your next teleport. Your boat can no longer get stuck on the scoreboard buoy during Barracuda Trial 1, and Barracuda Trials now finish when you sail away, meaning you can only start a trial when close by. Some Shellbane Griffin tweaks. They now respawn every 12 seconds instead of the original every 18 seconds. And the Shellbane Griffin collection log now lists the pet first, combined with other collection logs. Port task tweaks. They added a new right-click option to the ledger tables as you take any cargo, allowing you to quick take a random cargo without bringing up a choice menu. You no longer run into issues taking a second port task because it uses the same type of crate as your previous accepted task. Note that some crates or tasks may be cleared on login as a part of this change. A lot of miscellaneous tweaks. Reduce the number of sharks around mermaid locations, including in multi-combat zones like the north of Crash Island. This should make mermaid tasks clearer and less disruptive, giving you more breathing room to spot hints and respond. If your helm's covered in crystals while you order your crew to operate it, the game will now recognize it immediately that they can't do it, instead of waiting until a crew reaches the helm before giving the feedback. And on Mosley Harmless, Patchy's menu has had a quick spruce up. Fixed the problem where it had an extra buy option that didn't work. The menu can now be viewed by players who aren't already carrying a suitable pair of items, making it easier for new arrivals to learn about Patchy's options. His bandana eye patch combo items now have their colors written into the item's name to help distinguish between them. The jar of feathers can now be stored in the achievement gallery display of a player-owned house. That was odd. I feel like that should have just happened on release, but the fact that it even told you that it couldn't be stored, like, I don't know what was up with that. It's kind of weird to have come in late, that is. The goals, aka Scronglies, idle animation has had a tidy up, with the tail now looping seamlessly. In the skill guide, checking materials for the internal brazier, now correctly mentions the 6 runite bars required. You can no longer receive double wind or gale catcher charges at once when multiple players trim sails on the same tick. Coral patches had a buff this week. Firstly, all 3 variants have a reduced chance of disease. Secondly, the harvest yields have increased. For patches that grow after this update moving forward, the minimum yield for each variant should be at 4, or be 4 at all farming levels, increasing as your level improves until you have a decent chance of receiving over 16 at 99. And the magic secateurs will still improve your chance of a higher yield as they did before. We fixed an issue where boats could be summoned without a teleport focus. If one had previously been built on the boat, fixed an issue where boats could get stuck in certain positions near Brimhaven Port. The Rum-Dashed Ralph now refers to the correct helm material in his tips. Drinking Lunar Shine no longer causes the player's character's jaw to disappear. Oh, drinking Lunar Shine. I don't know why I thought I said like talking, but still, that's crazy. The correct player's RSN is now shown on all message boxes of the navigation permissions, including the cargo hold access message. Updated the model of dog castaways in the castaway sailing random event. The camera starts now panning without delay when using the telescope at Piscalaria's food hall. The Pirates of the Wandering Pirate NPC boat have come to their senses. The boats no longer crashes into the rocks and gets stuck. I didn't even know that was a thing. The sailing opinion poll. This is important. Everyone should do this, even if you haven't 99 yet, even if you have 99. I know that technically some of the questions in it will be like, well, you've already passed it. You're never going to come back around to the levels or maybe this topic or the sort of activity, but you should still put in your feedback because it's going to help, you know, future players, people who come in, people who get to that certain point in sailing later, right? But later today, which has already happened, at around 2:30 p.m., we'll be launching an opinion poll focused on sailing, and we'd love to hear what you think. The poll will cover a range of topics, including ship combat, quality of life improvements, and our current plans for sailing content arriving in 2026. Your feedback will help shape where sailing goes next. The poll will be available to all players with level 2 sailing or higher, which that's weird. I mean, it's good because it's going to prevent people who are adamant about not doing sailing at all having any opinion on this. But what's not going to go stop them from like just going and gaining a level and then doing things to steer it in a negative sense? I don't know. We'll just see what comes of it. Some questions will be tailored towards specific groups, such as Ultimate Ironman, or those with higher sailing levels, allowing us to gather more precise insights from different corners of the community. We've ran a ton of surveys in the past, however, this in-game one is our next big step towards getting an accurate insight from everyone. Regardless of which social platform you're on, the data we get from you will be invaluable in helping us decide what to prioritize next. By running this in-game, we're getting a broader, more accurate insight from our community on how you feel about sailing. With better data, this can create real changes in the way we do things. The results of this poll are hidden, but we'll be back with our learnings as soon as we process everything. You won't be voting on what does or doesn't get added to the game, but that doesn't make it any less important. This is a new way for you to have your say. This feedback shared in the poll will have a direct impact on how we develop sailing. All we need now is you. So make sure to cast your votes and share your thoughts. This poll will remain open until the 5th of January, so plenty of time to get this in. Here we have some non-sailing pet drop rates from the new resources. So essentially the beaver, the heron, the rock golem, the tangleroot, right? Because we have a lot of new skills that kind of came in with, or new opportunities for different skills that came with sailing. So here they are, as you can kind of see below. So for the beaver, for the Jatoba, it's a 1 in 264,336. And you can kind of just go through this yourself. I'm not going to take the time to read all of these, but you can get an idea of how rare the pet is or the rate you're looking to possibly receive it at in all of these options here. So, as you know, you can pause the video there, I guess, if you want to look at it. Along with this, we also have an interface uplift. This is round 3. So from the blog, we've already released 2 batches of updates, which you can find here and here. So you can kind of click on those yourself. If you go to the blog, I'll have the blog posted below in the about section for the video. But today we're continuing with some of the remaining changes along with some feedback-driven tweaks to the Rune Pouch UI. So the Rune Pouch UI changes, to start with, we've added a toggle for loadout name tags in the setting menu. So if you prefer the more compact view, you can toggle this setting off to fit it more loadouts on your screen at once. This means having a more condensed view for those who don't need any of those named presets and would prefer to have some more more information displayed without needing to scroll. So you can kind of see here the differences. And you can find the setting for it right there below. Right, look up Rune Pouch and you're most likely going to see it as the first option there. For those who do enjoy having name tags visible, we've had many requests for a wider variety of loadout names. While we aren't able to support custom loadout names natively, we kept a close eye on most of your frequently requested suggestions based on feedback. We've added the following option, which is nice because some of these are just really nice. I'd love to have a set of ruins for Guardians of the Rift. So if I am on the Lunar Spellbook, I can just use the Contact NPC. At the same time, like Death Charges as one, or Thralls, or Barrages, right? Even PvPers are in here, right? So you have your opportunity for Vengeance, or you can have it be very basic from Ancients and stuff. Wintertaught, I'm not too sure why you would need one, or a Rune Pouch, but hey, I haven't been the Wintertaught in forever, things have changed. Right, but there's a lot of opportunities here, or options here, and I'm really excited to see some of these because yeah, a lot of these would be nice just to have as a label instead of, I think like for mine, I have like Barrage listed as like PvP or something. So it's nice to just be able to have one dedicated to it. Fortunately, none of them are named Bloods, because I would then have that for whenever I'm using blood spells. But yeah, there you can see all the options are inside of the rune pouch now. If you have any more loadout names that you think would be really useful, make sure you go to the OSRS Discord and put in like the suggestions, probably is where they'll want you to add it or mention. The Shades of Morton coffin improvements. So players who frequent the Shades of Morton minigame have been asking for some improvements for some time now. And this week we've got some quick and simple tweaks that should help. So they updated the right-click option for the coffins available as a reward from the Shades of Morton minigame. You can now withdraw Shades remains in your inventory from a right-click menu without needing to open the configure dialog. When withdrawing a shade remains from the coffin, it will now withdraw as many as possible into your inventory. If you have multiple types of shades remaining in your coffin, the highest tier will be withdrawn first, similar to how a herb sack functions. And the option to open and close the coffin is now available in the configuration menu as well. And then you also have some right here. So open coffin, remove a lock, or check the shade count. Toggleable, I really don't like that word, but toggleable mobile-friendly teleport menus. So those of you who've ever teleported anywhere must have run into a teleport menu interface with a list of destinations on a scroll background. On mobile though, you may have ended up teleporting to the wrong place, all due to location text packed tightly together. Justice for the thumb. To rectify this, we're giving this a more modern look so that mobile users have a little bit more space and fewer misclicks, while making sure that the design still feels old school. And you can kind of see the example here for Spirit Tree. We know that the scroll interface is iconic, and we're making this a toggle in case you prefer the current look. The new design will be the default for brand new players, but we won't be changing the settings. Changing this setting ourselves for established characters. If you'd like to try this updated design yourself, head to the settings menu and toggle on the modern menu interfaces. You can see right there. So search modern and it's probably going to come up immediately. Consistent options for storage containers. Old school is full of nifty space saving unlocks. Right. However, even though many of these are functionally identical, the right-click menus of these unlocks have different and inconsistent orders. So we're smoothing this out by making the coal bag, the gem bag, the herb sack, the plank sack, the bottomless compost bucket, and the essence pouches all share a consistent order for the right-click options, which is mirroring the existing order for the coal bag. Note that the Runecraft pouches should still prioritize their empty when full and full when empty options to keep interaction mobile friendly. And you can kind of see there, just it's going to all look like that now. Some smaller UI changes as well. So they adjusted map icons to make clear which agility shortcuts are one-way and which are two-way, meaning that they can be used from either side. One-way shortcuts now use reversed colors with a white arrow on a green base and are labeled one-way and the mouse hover over. The home teleport icon and the teleport button in the grouping interface will now appear gray if those particular teleports are on cooldown. Added right-click long press options to side zones so that you can quickly navigate anywhere you'd like in the menus. Example, right-clicking on the character summary zone to instantly navigate to quests, achievement diaries, or character summary tab. Bosses who have their kill times tracked have had their personal best section added at the top of their respective collection log. You can now right-click on Stony Basalt to directly teleport directly to either the roof or the entrance of Troll Stronghold, depending on your preference. Likewise, you can toggle whether left-clicking Stony Basalt takes you to the Troll Stronghold roof or entrance by default. Note that you'll still need to have completed the hard Fremy diary and have 73 agility to be allowed to teleport directly to the roof. In addition, using the toggle feature on the Stony Basalt as an item will also apply the same default location to the POH portal and Nexus teleports made using Stony Basalt. And you can see there's the menu options there. That's it for the interface update changes for now. We've held back the Slayer and Looting Bag interface updates due to the holiday season, as these would require cold fixes if further tweaks are needed. meaning it's safer for us to release them in the new year when the full team is back and available. Some quality of life improvements. On top of all the above changes, we've also got some shiny quality of life improvements this week. If you're carrying an active escape crystal, it will now auto teleport you out during phase 3 of Tombkins and Elidness Wardens if you appear AFK when the red skulls explode. So to all the hardcores out there. The stash unit at the lava maze now allow you to deposit equipped items that are required for its clue step. Updating the message shown when activated Vigoras or Earth Signs chain maces run out of charge, reminding you that to uncharge them to continue using them. You'll now get a warning that you won't get the demon tears back when dismantling the Avernic treads. When transferring from seasonal to permanent Deadman mode, you'll now be able to unlock all music tracks that failed to be unlocked before because of auto-completed quests. These tracks are tied to quests like Fremennik series, The Recipe of Disaster, Lunar Diplomacy, Dragon Slayer 1 and 2, Monkey Madness 2, not Sadness, A Taste of Hope, and more. And updated the gap crossing animation on the agility pyramid to play the arm movements of the player character. And the message that appears when attempting to create a dragon play body now lists the correct materials. Some other changes. We've had a word with King Roald on where the tax money's been going. As a result, the waters of the Varrock fountains are fixed and all blue once again. Nice. Fix a Z buffer issue that caused players' character feet to clip into the ground while holding the Christmas dinner reward. Upon getting the Dom drop, the message in the clan loot broadcast now correctly mentions Doom of Macchiato as the source. Resolved the graphical issue with the Jad Jumper reward from this year's Christmas event. The small key, the Yinsdale, is now correctly called Small Key Yinsdale. Okay. Added a toggle in the setting menu so that players can choose whether or not the keyboard on mobile will automatically appear when using the search function of the Fairy Ring interface. And in case you missed it, we also rolled out a hotfix earlier this week. You can no longer rest at forestry's campfires where PvP is enabled to prevent some unintended abuse cases. The PvP World Rota. Over the Christmas period, all worlds will be open regardless of the region. The PvP Rota will begin again next year on January 7th. The PvP Arena will be using a 1 defense pure loadout in the ranked duels and tournaments this week, starting today. The following weeks will rotate automatically with the Max Medium or Max Med loadouts on December 11th, the Zerker loadouts on December 24th, and the 1 Defense Pures loadouts again on December 31st. All right. Well, I think that's it for today and this week's blog. All right. See ya.